Hello everyone, welcome to Programming Cradle. I'm shooting this video for the second time because the first time when I shot this video, I forgot to turn on the mic, so the video was completely mute. But yeah, anyways, in this video we will discuss about some of the topics that you should really know if you want to get into data science and if you're looking for a job as a data scientist in the UK. So yeah, that's exactly what we'll be discussing in this video, and this is the first video of a series where I will be making several project tutorials where you will be able to replicate those projects on different dataset, or maybe if you want to use same dataset you can use that as well, because those projects are really good and they are sort of complex projects. That's what they are considered as, and they look really good on CV as well. So yeah, that's exactly what we'll be doing in this whole series. So this is the first video where we will first discuss about all the topics that you should know. But as always, before moving further, if you are new here or if you want to subscribe to the channel, please go subscribe to the channel and be a part of Programming Cradle family, and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time when a video goes live. And also, if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It keeps me motivated to make such videos for you guys. So yeah, with that being said, let's start our discussion. So the first thing, which is very obvious one, is programming. You should know programming because even if you want to use all the different packages, you will have to write quite a lot of code, and sometimes, especially in data engineering part or data manipulation part, you have to do all the custom work and different packages won't be doing those things for you. So you should know programming quite well, and to name a few, you need to know Python or R, because those are the most popular languages which are being asked in most of the companies. There are some companies which are asking for C++, JavaScript and Java as well, but those are very few companies. So you should not be worried about, I don't know those languages, so what should I do? It's totally fine if you know only Python or if you know just R, but you have to be really good with those languages. You should know the in and out of those languages, and you know what has those languages to offer and what package does what. So you need to know all those things. So yeah, programming is very important. After that, now that you know programming, you need to know mathematical and statistical concepts as well. So when you learn some machine learning algorithm or something, it's good that you know the working of that, but also it is very important that you know how to optimize those algorithms. Yes, we can use different packages, we can just do some hyperparameter tuning and it works fine, but it's also very important to know the mathematical understanding of those algorithms, simply because if you know the mathematical understanding of those algorithms, and if you are doing EDA on a data set, probably you are seeing some pattern. Let's say there is some quadratic relationship, so you know that you need to do QDA on that. So yeah, those things really help. But if you don't know about those things and you see some pattern in the EDA but still you don't understand what that means, and so it's completely waste, right? And also when you are doing some data analysis, you will have to convince your stakeholders that your analysis is reliable enough, and for that you might use hypothesis testing, and maybe in the interviews you will have to explain about p-values or something like that. So for that you need to understand the mathematical concepts and statistical concepts as well. So it is very important to know those things as well. Even if you know the basics of those things, it's perfectly fine, but at least you should know something about it. It's not like you should be completely unaware of mathematics and statistics. So yeah, that's there. After that, the next thing that you should know is SQL. SQL is again very important, and if you are in some big company, they might have their whole data engineering team where they will do the heavy lifting for you. But then there will be some companies where you will have to do everything on your own. You will have to carry out data from the database, do data engineering or data manipulation, and then perform machine learning algorithms on that. So for that you need to know SQL. If you know how to query data from the database, that should be enough, even if you don't know how to write complex queries, because ultimately when you have the data you can do that in your Python environment, but then you should at least understand the structure of a query, what is the purpose of different things that are there in SQL query. So select, from, where, having, order by, limit, all those things. So you should know all those things, and you should have a little bit of understanding about those things. So if you have basic understanding of SQL, you should be good to go. After you know that SQL, there is this other thing which you might or might not need, but I have seen most of the companies which are mentioning these tools very often these days. Those are Tableau and Power BI. So if you know either of them, it should be fine because they both do the same thing in a different way, of course. But whatever you feel is more natural to you, you can learn either of them. And most of the companies usually mention Tableau or Power BI, so that's not a problem. And they are dashboarding tools which you can use to present your analysis, and they are very interactive, and you can also publish them on different platforms, their own respective platform rather, I should say. So it becomes very easy to share as well, and also it is very interactive, so it feels good for the stakeholder who are not from technical background to just tweak the parameters and see how the analysis is changing. So if later on they want to play with those analysis on their own, they can do that as well. So yeah, if you know these tools, it is again very helpful. It's not the compulsory one, but good to have that under your belt. After that, the other thing is Git. Again, not many people talk about it, but it is very important because these days most of the companies are using Git for their version control. And if you know very basic of Git also, it should be fine. So let's say how to initialize your Git repo, how to commit, how to push, and how to pull. If you know all those things, it should be fine, because when you're working on the projects on your own, you might not use all the functionality of the Git, like working in the team, we create branches and we merge and we do pull requests and all those things. So you might not do all those things when you're working alone on some project, but if you have a little bit of understanding about those basic commands, and when you go to the company, you will get to know other commands as well, and you will be fine with that. So it won't be completely alien to you when you will see it for the first time in the company. And also when employers or the hiring manager will see Git on your resume, they will know that okay, you have basic understanding, so it's a good thing. Yeah, so Git is again a very important thing. After that, the other thing is again a very obvious one, which is machine learning and deep learning, because if you want to be a data scientist, you cannot run away from machine learning and deep learning. You might think like, okay, machine learning is a thing of past and deep learning is now the trending thing, but that's not the complete truth, because there are many companies who still want to rely on machine learning, mainly because it has a lot of things which deep learning does not have, and deep learning is still coming up with those things, such as if you have made some decisions. So let's say you told your manager that this parameter is very important and I'm making this particular prediction. So your machine learning model is explainable enough, and it tells you why it is selecting that particular option. So that is not there in deep learning. Well, I can't say that is not there in deep learning, because you can achieve that as well in deep learning, but yeah, so it's not very common. So yeah, that's why still machine learning is very popular, and you need to have very good understanding of machine learning as well. And deep learning is again picking up pace, so you need to be updated with deep learning as well. You might think that okay, I just need to use sklearn or TensorFlow or Keras to implement machine learning and deep learning, but then you need to understand about all the different parameters which they have in the predefined functions or pre-implemented algorithms, because those parameters actually play a very important role, and those are called hyperparameters. Not all of them, but there are few parameters which are hyperparameters, which you need to tune, and with tuning you can achieve very good results. So you need to understand which parameter does what, and if you want to change something, how to use cross validation and all those things. So yeah, it is very important to have understanding about all those things. So now that you have learned about machine learning and deep learning, there is something else which you should know about. Again, it is not the compulsion, but then still if you have understanding about these things, it will give you upper hand over other people, which is big data techniques. So it could be Spark, it could be PySpark, or Dask also plays a very important role. So when you have millions and millions of data, if you know those things, and if you know how to process them in parallel, it will help you, and it will speed up the process with a very significant pace, and companies will really appreciate that. So if you have these things on your resume, it will again look very good, and you should really learn these things as well. And if you also have understanding about those previous topics like MapReduce, Hadoop, and all those things, so they also are very important still. Even though it is very old, there are some companies who like to use those techniques as well. So yeah, these are some of the technical stuff that you should know, but usually what people don't talk about is the soft skills. And when I went through all these interviews, I realized they are actually seeing how you perform on soft skills as well. So to name few, the first thing is of course communication skill, and by communication I don't mean you have to have very fluent English, or you should be able to speak English in a very fast way or something like that. The main thing about communication is you are able to convey your findings and analysis to your stakeholder in an easier way. So it's because many times your stakeholders won't be very technically sound, so they need to know things in a human language. So if you are able to convey your findings in that way, that is really a good thing to have. And when I said you need not be very fluent, but it's good to be fluent in English, because when you are fluent in English, you will be able to explain things in a better way. But if you are not fluent in English, you might keep on thinking, oh, how will I do, did I speak well, did I speak not well? So if you are fluent, you will not think about that thing, and your brain will have capacity to think about things which actually matter. So yes, practice your communication. And if you want my help with communication skills, I will see what I can do. I will try to think of some innovative way which I can bring on this channel. Probably that will help you improve your communication skills, especially in IT domain or maybe in data science specifically. So if you want my help, do let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to think of something which can help you guys. And after communication skill, there is another thing which is presentation skill, because it is very important. And by presentation, what I mean is, when you create a PPT to present your findings, make sure you just don't put all the text in that and you are just reading it out. It's important that you put different type of pictures in it and try to make it very interesting to your audience, and try to keep their attention to your presentation as much as you can, and they don't lose interest in that. So that is the important thing that you should be very aware of, and that is what you should focus in your presentation. So I was not aware of all these things, and before that I used to put all the text in my presentation, and I used to bold the important keywords, and I just used to take those as a reference, and I used to explain my things. But when I came here, when I did my master's, there was one module called Data Science in the Wild, and there I learned about these things, that you should not put only text in your PPT. You should use images if you want reference, and if you want to just keep remembering those bullet points which you need to talk about. So you can put little bit of text here and there. You can put different type of images which will give you idea what you need to talk next. So that's how even people which are sitting in front of you, who are listening to you, they will stay attentive to your presentation. So it is again very important aspect of presentation. So if you want to learn about that, maybe I will show one of the presentations that I created in the further videos, where I will be discussing about different projects, so that you will know how to make a presentation which is very interactive, or at least which can keep the attention of your stakeholders. So yeah, that's there. So these are the skills which you should know about and you should be aware of if you want to get into data science. And if you need any help, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. And if you want to download data science notes, link is in the description. You can download that note from that link, and it will help you in learning data science, speed up your process in learning data science. You can also join our Telegram group, where we have a lot of people discussing about similar thing and people with similar interests. So you can again make some very good connections there, and you can post your portfolio link there or something. And if you want to make portfolio, I have made a video. I will probably leave a card in this video, or maybe link in the description, so that you will be able to see how to make portfolio. It just takes around 20-30 minutes to make a portfolio. And the projects, which if you don't have projects that you don't know what to put in your portfolio, I'll be making a further videos where I will be doing a tutorial for all the projects so that it will help you. So yeah, this is what I wanted to discuss in this video, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like and comment, all those good things. And to stay up to date, of course, subscribing to the channel is important. And when I saw the analytics, Google Analytics or YouTube Analytics, it says that 79% of the people are not subscribed to the channel and they are watching my content. So yeah, I understand it's not something which you need to do, but it motivates me, because when I see, okay, numbers are increasing, people are actually liking my content, it motivates me to make such content. So I hope to bring more content to you guys, and just subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. So hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Happy learning.